Now, you know the old saying, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, but does it still ring true today? Possibly, according to Liam Payne, who has opened up about his romance with Cheryl. He also said, though, that part of the reason that they broke up is because he struggled to understand how she was feeling, which, again, was very honest. Why are you chortling?
Because I'm just thinking, when a man says something like that, you know that they've been very well schooled. Do you
think?
I'm just wondering how many times he was told why it broke him because he didn't understand her feeling. And again, I think it's very sweet, because I think within that it sounds like he still doesn't really understand anything.
You're not believing him.
But no, I believe that he believes himself.
Oh. But do you think men and women are always destined to kind of misunderstand each other?
I think it happens a lot, because I don't think often, and I do think women are, well, I don't know, maybe they're not, maybe it's men and women, are guilty of not actually making themselves very clear and expecting the partner, the other half, to be a bit of a mind reader.
Yeah.
And you don't really often say what you really think, because, I don't know, it might start a row, or it might start something, or you think you're going to hurt them or offend them or whatever. But it's always... Honesty isn't always the best policy. I think it's quite good sometimes to not tell the truth. Not lie, but not tell the truth.
Or choose your moments carefully.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
mean.
Because sometimes the truth can hurt. But I think if you don't make yourself clear, then how can anybody understand how you're feeling?
See, I'm not
You've got
sure
to say
whether
it.
it's a gender thing or whether it's just a relationship thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely a relationship
Relationships
thing.
are really difficult.
Yeah.
Whether it's a relationship between two men, two women, a man and a woman, it's just, you know, at the one end you've got, you're supposed to desire each other and love each other and cherish each other, and at the other end it's who's put the bloomin' bins out and who's left an apple core on the table. And it's just
It's a
hard.
particular gripe of hers.
The apple core.
Ian, sort out the apple core business.
Yes.
The apple core on the coffee
to
table
go.
is driving me mental.
Ian, honestly, stop it.
Yeah. Got to go.
Just putting that out. What do you think, Kelly?
Well, you know, I've got a really good friend, Devon Maxwell White, and he's my hairdresser and has been for, like, you know, 20 years. So we've shared a lot of ups and downs and life together. But when I sit in that chair, I can literally say anything, and he...
Or say nothing.
Or say nothing. Put it there, babe. Exactly. Or say nothing.
She doesn't do high five, Kelly. She doesn't do high five.
Sorry.
Just go... I like that.
No problem. Noted. You've communicated very well, Carol.
Yeah, you see? Yeah. You're not going to
No. Sorry, I've got 2 kids. That's what we do all the time. But yeah, no, he literally... I could talk to him about anything, and we can gab for hours, and I can say things that I wouldn't say to maybe other people. And, you know, he is gay, so I don't know whether that has something to do with it
does
as well.
that not just prove that men and women absolutely can understand each other? But once you put relationships into the mix, then
It
that's
changes things,
I mean, you and Mark really get into deep conversations
It's
that Ian and I
really
never
hard.
do.
Yeah, it's really hard. I mean, you know, what we tend to think of the word... When we hear the word intimacy, we tend to think of just sex. But
Well, I don't, but maybe you do.
But to be... I never do.
Of course you don't.
Because I think to be truly intimate with somebody is actually quite an uncomfortable thing, because you have to talk about stuff that you don't really want to talk about. And Mark and I do have these conversations which, oh, my God, we avoid. I mean, how often do you talk to girlfriends and they say, oh, God, no, I can't remember the last time I looked at my partner in their eyes, or sat and spoke to them for 5 minutes, or asked them how I felt, or said how I felt, or said what I wanted. Unless you know what you want, how can you ask for it?
Does it help, though?
I do love the differences between men and... I think there is a... I love it when Mark...
So you think there are fundamental differences
Yeah,
between men and women?
I think it's highlighted when you're in a relationship. I think it's a really good point that you made. I think as soon as you're intimate with somebody, or not having sex or whatever you would think intimacy is, things do change. But I love the complete befuddlement that I see in Mark's face so often when I'm saying something so utterly clear. But if I said it to my girlfriend, they would know exactly what I meant. And he's so confused. And he's upside down. And he's pulling his hair out. He's not listening. No, he is. He's desperately listening. He's trying to understand. And he just can't. And I'm utterly bemused that he doesn't. And yet I could turn around to one of you girls and you'd know instantly what I meant. But I think there's some charm in that. I like that.
But when you talk all that stuff out, you say often that you end up arguing, so it's not really working, is
But
it?
I think that's why... but I think that's why we do avoid that kind of intimacy, because we're worried about hurting each other's feelings or having an argument. Yeah, we do argue, but we're still together 17 years later and still love each other and still want to be with each other.
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't mean that we don't have really, you know, sticky conversations where we say things that hurt each other.
But you should, and that's healthy to have those conversations, because then you're going to work through it and get to the other side of it. When you build up and you don't say, that's when you end up with this big, massive, explosive argument.
Which you don't do with your friends, because you meet up with your friends and you just have a great time and there's no apple cores to be seen.
Indeed.
If your friend put the apple core on there, you wouldn't mind.
You're not doing it every day.
All right, OK, enough about the apple cores.